Why not? Let's do it today. Let's do the rake. Rake, rake, rake. I love them. Budget knives. Interesting. There was a whole bunch of that I saw on Blue Ridge Knives. They're a big distributor, USA distributor. And that's where I can get some because I have the tax number and all that stuff. Thought at one time I wanted to be a knife dealer. Looked around and thought, hey, I don't think there's any money in that. But I could still get these from a distributor here or there. And they happen to have these. I didn't see them much anywhere else on the web, but I know that, let's wipe this down a little bit. I know you can get these, okay, because I know they're out. So, and I thought, I want to get these. And I got the P127s, and I got this 180, this P881 karambit, and I got these little P661, P662. These are small little flickables. I got the, the D, it was this, the D 191, okay, this is a flipper, but this is, steel on the back. This is cheap as chips right here. And then, but it's big. It's a hoss. I'll be doing a thing on that. And then the P 851. And so the difference between this and the 861, maybe blade shape, I don't know, but got that too. And then as well, I got this crazy Manx, and you know what? This is pretty cool. This 843W, I think for the sand colored G10, but harpoon style, kind of a spear point blade in 12C27, not 14C28, and like so many others are. And like I said, this one here, the D191, it's HCR13, but it's like 25 bucks all in. So interesting that they do that as well in a flipper. So we'll be reviewing, and I'll be throwing those up on my channel. So that was just a quickie, like, take a look and see. Yes, I went nuts. I got a whole bunch of different models that I had never reviewed before, and I'm trying to keep up a little bit on the rake knives because I really like them. I think they're a good value. So let's talk about the P127, and here you go. The P127. This is B. This is just for black. This is G10. Okay, right or left hand, tip up, carry, lanyard hole, standard kind of hardware, number 6 Torx, but deep carry pocket clip, all that. This is its brother with, this is, I think this is just a laminate, but it's carbon fiber. Okay, right or left hand, tip up, and it's got, that same pattern, and it's the same knife. It's just, if you want the carbon fiber look, or if you just want the black G10, no other colors available that I could see. So yeah, if there were, I would have put them up on here if they'd had a sand color or something like that. But these are obviously 14C28 and steel. They're a decent sized knife. I thought they were a really cool design because the blade shape's interesting. The overall shape is interesting. So, yeah. Action's nice. Pretty thick steel liners. And then, of course, you got the lockout, which you engage by pushing it forward, and then this liner won't disengage. And there's your lockup, and it's pretty heavy lockup. Let me disengage that. Kick this down and do it again. Here you go. That's 40%. All day long. There's your pass-through, and it's got little teeth there, little jimping stuff. So is it easy to see? Yeah. Is this real fidget friendly? Yeah, it's already over the detemp ball, and there it drops. Okay, and there it goes. Okay. Centered, no lock, rock, or blade play. Got a glass breaker on the end, striking. And like I said, lanyard hole, but yeah, right, left hand. And obviously ambidextrous in the fact that it's a flipper tap. You can flip it right or left-handed. This is kind of a right-hand oriented, And of course, disengaging it, the liner lock bar is obviously right-hand oriented. So, but, I mean, got a deep carry pocket clip. Here we go, bitch and moan. But, you know, look at the screws on my shredder from Civivi. And they're flat right there. And I've seen other knives that are too. Although I've seen other knives that are like this. Why you put a button top screw to take up like a third of the space here is not a good thing. But it's flexible. You can get it over your pocket lip, but this is going to cause more damage to your pocket lip than this is, isn't it? I mean, best of all worlds would be to mill a little area in like they did here, okay? So take this kind of construction here where they mill an area in. So this sits flush with the scale, and then make those screws flush as well, and then the whole thing would be flush with the scales. Place this Piper. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's just try and use the blade for cutting. Yeah, that's sharp too. So, by and large, all the rake knives I've ever had are pretty sharp. Now, here's this open pivot. Okay. And then it looks like you got number 6s. Okay. Dumped out my little thing of bits, which are scattered all over the table now, but thought, do I have a bit that fits this? And yeah, this seems to. So there you go. There's the size. This seems to be able to slide in here. Okay. So that's what we'll use for disassembly purposes. So to find out really the dope sheet on these knives, what is nice is to open the box. Okay, that's what another thing I like about rake knives is they actually give you information on the knife that's in the box. Like the P127. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Blade length, 3.58, so about 3.6, 91 millimeters, 8.46 overall. So it's a good size knife, bigger than the paramilitary 2. Blade thickness, 3.1 millimeters, not all that thick. Weight, under 4 ounces, 3.95, and it's 14C28N. Nice to get that, isn't it? Actually, on the knife you actually buy. And they're not expensive. I think this is around $50, 48 to 52, somewhere floating in that territory. And this is just about $2 or $3, maybe higher. And you may ask yourself why, because you may not much like this. What I think is probably a laminate G10 carbon fiber thing. So, looks flashy, and I don't mind. So, especially if my only other choice is just straight G10. If there was a color offered, I'd kick this out and get like a sand-colored thing. Something like that would be kind of nice. I like this color. That's good. But no. So, I got one of each of these. Thought it'd be cool. And the action's nice on them. They're solid. They got a pretty heavy duty stainless steel liner. And it looks to be, and we're going to take this apart, of course, but it's a skeletonized liner. Okay. Yeah, a little bit in the back, too. What else? What else do you think? Well, there's no jimping here on the flipper tab, but it's pretty intuitive. And what's the detent? The detent is appropriate. It's good. Great fidget factor. Let me see if I can throw it out this way to start with. Okay, yeah, I can. Oh, somewhere around Now, somewhere around a 4.5 to a 5 on my D10 scale. But nice. Floats on those bearings really nice. It's pretty smooth. Over the detent ball quick. Where's my balance point? Back here. Back here. Blade to handle. It's reasonable. It's reasonable. You got that wraparound backspacers coming right up there. It didn't give you much more. And like I said, centered, no blade play or lock rock. Flicks right open pretty easily. Pretty intuitive. Ergos. They're good. I mean, it's a straight handle. So nobody's telling you where to put your fingers here. I mean, they can all kind of, different size hands can adapt to this. And you could actually sneak forward if you wanted to. Here. Satin grind. Plunge looks symmetrical. Looks like a flat grind to me. Yeah, easy to disengage, like I said before. I don't know if I'd really talked about it that much, but easy to disengage. And the lock bar is pretty flexible. It's not real stiff. I'm sure you can kind of adjust the drop on this. It's fine for me. I'm good with it. And like I said, over the detent ball real quick. And by the time this flipper tab hits you in the thumb, you're good to go. So great fidget factor as well. But you got this cross guard here both ways in that regard. So keeps your fingers from sliding down on the blade. Piercing and slicing? Absolutely. And more or less, let's see if we can get a measure on the flat spot of this blade. Yeah, 3 millimeters. Somewhere right in there. Point, not quite an 1/8 inch, but close to it, 0.118. And overall fatness is 0.52, which is 13.2 millimeters. $111 grams, under 4 ounces. So let's take it apart, see what it looks like inside, and which way do we want to go with this? Which is which? Yes. Screws out the backside. Sometimes you just never know. There you go. So next on this is my little number 6 here. And take off this little body screw. And then this pocket clip is going to have to come off. Just like that, so I can get to this screw back here. Bingo. And they look the same. Looked like there was a little red thread locker on there, maybe. Here's the outer scale for whatever that was. Oh, kind of a white lithium grease looking stuff right there. And there's the reason, because they lubed that whole locking mechanism up. And take this liner completely off. It'll lift off these little back pieces here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's the locking mechanism, which I don't want to pull it off. It might fall off on its own anyhow. But with that grease, it'll probably hold it, which is a good thing. And there's the inside with the lock bar, detent ball, etc. And of course, all that. You don't need a steel washer because this is a steel liner. And then you've got your bearings and front and back side of the blade. And they're all greased up like crazy. Okay, and there's the other side of the pivot. Don't need that. It's not D-shaped or anything, so there you go. There's your internal track on your blade stop here that rolls this way. This is the presentation side. And I'm going to try and roll this way with it. And then, of course, my detent here and track are going to roll like this. So just maybe the slightest little bit of stuff there. And then throw my other bearing on the other side of here. And just very little. And this never fell off on its own. So this will be fine right here. Right like this. Stick that on. And of course, the outer scale. Just like that. There's the main screw for the pivot, and there you go. These tiny little screws for the body. And again. Kind of support the screw on the other side with my finger underneath there. And we're locked down. Now we can just throw the bucket clip back in. If we can, just get lucky enough to drop those little puppies. Or, oh man, they just dropped right down there. That's good. So we can just finish them off. And we're good, and where are we? And we look centered, and where are we? There's no play. Maybe we could back this off just a little. Give it a little bit more drop, maybe even a little bit more. Don't know how much we can get allowed without getting some play or That's going to throw it off center just a bit. Let's come back just a bit. And we're pretty close to centered. We got any play? And we got a little bit. Okay, that's hitting it. That's all the way in. Now we're centered. No play. Bring it back. Just a crack. A little bit more. Okay, that's good. That's better. And we're centered. Yeah, here we are. Done and done, son. Oop, ain't got room to flip it. But yeah, nice, easy to take apart, pretty simple. Nice little lockout, good little user knives, fairly inexpensive, off the D2 train onto Sandvik. I'll let you go. Thank you so much. You know what we do. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.